Actually, my perception of women changed when I sorted it out. Changed overnight. If you put the woman that you're attracted to on a pedestal, what you're really attracted to is your unconscious idealization of women. And men see their unconscious idealization of women in someone they're attracted to, especially if the attraction is pronounced and immediate, right? That's a projection, psychoanalytically speaking. And then they confuse the woman with that idealization, which is very difficult to bear for the woman because she's not really there. That's the first problem. And second, she's going to get herself in trouble and not know it because now and then she's going to do something that violates that ideal projection and be called to account for it, even though she doesn't know what rules she's breaking. Plus, the guy won't be able to listen to her or appreciate anything about her that's not perfect or in accordance with that ideal. So that means she can't really talk to him, right? She can't reveal anything that's untoward or...
That definitely makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is probably common for people.
So one of the things that happened when I solved that problem, I was studying a lot of Jungian psychology at the time. It literally happened overnight. Is I can remember walking down the streets of Montreal and I saw an ad on a bus. And you know, at that time, this was in the 80s, they're probably still doing this. A lot of the models that were used by like makeup companies were very young women, like 14, but made up, you know, so they were sexualized. Oh, well, it's still the case. Like there's very young models who were used, you know, but I know that before I had seen through my own illusions, that I would have seen in the ad a beautiful woman. And then I saw a girl dressed up like a woman.
Oh, that's interesting. Wow.
Yeah, well, there's a loss in that too. Like the loss is, this is a loss of maturity, is that, you know, if you are in love with your ideal, then you have the ideal, like you have the princess. The price you pay is you don't get the woman. Now, if you want the woman, the price you pay for that is that you have to let go of the princess. Right. Now, that's what you should do, because the princess thing isn't going anywhere. But it is definitely a sacrifice. It's sort of like growing up and coming to the realization that your father doesn't know everything, which of course isn't true in your case, by the way. But there's a loss in that, right? Like the gain is that you gain the maturity and the self-confidence to go out and make your own decisions. But the loss is that you had a figure who was an intermediary between you and the world, who knew everything. Lots of people who remain over-dependent on their father, for example, remain over-dependent. They're willing to exist under his thumb, even if it's rather tyrannical, because they don't want to give up the certainty that there's someone out there in the world who actually knows what's going on.
Yeah, that's scary.
Of course.